Memoirs.
Welcome back. Welcome back to Memoirs. It's been a few weeks here.
It's been a while. I blame you, as always.
Well, I'm not
Odie's
the one
always
who
to
was
blame.
gallivanting in Hawaii for the past 3 weeks. But
Well, like I was telling you, the problem is like it was great, right? Great trip. But it goes to prove like I have two little kids. You have one little girl. I have two little girls. There's no thing you can do as a parent. Like we're in paradise. The kids wake up and they get to go water slide and go to the pool and sunbathe and play and see all the and go on a train ride around like a Hawaiian plantation. All amazing things. Eat yummy poolside food all day. You got nothing to complain about. The world is your oyster. And what do these whiny turds do? Half the time, crying, whining about whatever. She stole my French fry. My butt hurts. My bathing suit's too tight. It's like you just want to shake them, little a-holes. But yeah, we're back.
Well, that's why that's why rich kids are so snotty, because they just get that all the time growing up. And
Yep.
one little thing goes wrong, they get a splinter, and then the world's ending.
Yeah, dad buys them a car to make them feel better.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. But also, if you can't tell by my voice, those of you watching and listening, I am hung over as hell. Started off innocently enough yesterday, Odie. Had a martini. I think the Hawaii, like the time change and everything. Like I woke up with a headache at like at 4. I was like, man, I feel like dump. I'm gonna have a martini. Then walked to get my kid. Walked.
So you woke up at 4 in the afternoon?
No. I woke up with a headache in the morning, and then
I was up the previous night drinking until 4 in the morning. So I woke up at 4 p.m. and I still had a headache. So
I was up. It takes a long time to bury 4 prostitutes, Odie. I don't know if you've got a better system, maybe a backhoe. No, I woke up with the headache, and I was like all day just feeling like crap. And at 4, I was like, all right, maybe a little martini will help this. So I had that. Get back. My neighbor texts me, and he's like, hey, can I come over with my baby, have her play with your girls? I'm like, sure. Bring the wife. So they come over. We have more martinis. Then I see other neighbors walking outside, and I'm like, martini, just yelling out the door. So they come in. And then I'm like 5 martinis deep. So I don't feel great. And as you know, the title of my autobiography is Brian McWilliams, More Martini Than Man, for a reason.
Coming soon to a Barnes & Noble. By you. It's the only store that would take it. Won't be on Amazon, just Barnes & Noble. So,
and you exclusively have to read it while you're taking a dump in Barnes & Noble. It's the only place it's sold. You go in the bathroom, it's there. You can take the copy home. By the way, speaking of only available on this show, Meme Wars, tearing up the internet, hottest show out there. This show is going to be ending for the public. This is it. You're done. It's going behind the paywall for Lions of Liberty. You can get this show. We're going to continue on at patreon.com/Lions of Liberty or lionsofliberty.locals.com. But this will be the last public Meme Wars because we are putting it behind the paywall. There's a new show that's going to be replacing this. And it'll have its own feed as well, but it will be on the Lions of Liberty network. And that is going to be called Politics Like the Blood-Sucking Ticks. And it's going to be me. It's going to be John. It's going to be Lou Perez, who is coming on and joining our network as of next week. And maybe somebody else is going to be joining us.
Maybe. Find out.
We'll wait to announce that, but there will be a 4th Lion of Liberty very soon. A notable name within the space. You guys are going to love it. So all good things, but please go support us. Go to Patreon. You can get me more, but we're going out on a high note, except for me being very hungover, which is appropriate. You can look forward to me being hungover. Yeah. Appropriate note.
Yeah. And, in true Meme Wars fashion, I haven't looked at any of my memes in like 2 weeks. I've just been accumulating them since we haven't had a show. So I'll be kind of just winging them out there. But first, I did want to talk about, I don't know if you've had time to look into this, Brian, with all the hangover you've been going through. But have you seen that Trump's Department of Justice has arrested a judge?
Yeah, for harboring a illegal gangbanger. That's I would say advocacy more than judgery.
Yeah, well, it seems like they misdirected federal agents who were trying to find this undocumented immigrant here, which
I
seems
think that go
cool.
through the judge's house. Remember that Scooby Doo where they're like chasing guys and they keep going in and out of doors back and forth?
Isn't that every Scooby Doo? Yeah.
Literally. Yeah, literally every Scooby Doo with the music and them going in and out of doors to like some wacky song. That's like the federal agents at its judge's house. And the gangbanger comes out one door, he comes out with the gavel, the judge another door, and then the wife comes out.
And the gangbanger gets out the back door and there's a horse waiting there and he gets on and rides off. That's how it works every time, every single time. But I don't know. Of course, you have people on the left who are saying, oh, this is the red line. He's crossing the red line. You know what? Maybe he is. Maybe this is not actually what happened and this judge did nothing wrong. I have no idea. Probably the judge did something wrong and misdirected the agents. I've had to guess. But in all reality, just like looking at everything, wasn't the red line really when they tried to prosecute Trump when he was running for president and put him in prison and take him off the ballot? Wasn't that really the red line? And then everything else is just a response to that.
Yeah. I mean, it's a far more egregious abuse of the law. I would agree with that. And I mean, it's also like one of those things where you go, okay, so number one, if the judge is harboring this guy, misled agents, and again, we don't know what the truth is, then yeah, I mean, they go in, they do their thing, but is it retribution? I don't know. I wouldn't even say that because I doubt Trump even had an idea about this. But yeah, everything they did to Trump, the lawfare going on is way worse, way more obvious, way more petty, stupid. And I just think it's one of those things where like the left is so selective in what they're outraged by. It's like it's only if it's your team, and then the outrage happens, right? And it's the same like regarding immigration and due process. And look, I think you should have due process for these people. Like this guy, even though he seems like a piece of garbage, Garcia, I think his name is this MS-13 guy who got deported, and then some a-hole senator flew over to try to free him. The guy's like a wife beater. And did you see the Michael Strahan interview on Good Morning America that he did with this guy's wife?
No, I didn't.
You know what I'm talking about? Let me tell you.
I didn't see the interview, but I know who you're talking about with the guy and his wife. Yeah, but I didn't see the interview.
Yeah, he had this guy who's in the country illegally, gang member, and apparently had a restraining order, or did have a restraining order. His wife took out on him because he had been like beating her. She was scared for her life, and she went on and did an interview with Strahan. And he asked her, like, okay, so, did your husband abuse you? And were you afraid for your life? And she just sits for like 30 seconds and doesn't answer, which alone says that, like, what could be more obvious? Yes, Clearly she was afraid and she got beaten up by this guy who's not a good dude.
Unless she answers every question like that, like Jerry Sandusky, where if you ask him any question, like, what's the weather today? What's the weather today? Oh,
well, it's like you on many of our shows that we do, where you just you open your mouth and then and then you say nothing.
It's the football brain. Strahan probably knows all about it. Take too many blows to the head,
little
takes
CTE.
a little time to process.
Yeah, a little CTE going. But yeah, it was crazy. She takes a long break, and then like even after she answered, she was like, "Well, yeah, like it was a thing. It's like, yeah, it's real." And then Strahan goes, "Well, I won't dive into that, whatever." But clearly not a great guy, and the Democrats are bending over backwards for this dude. Yes, you should have due process, but at the same time, like Obama deported, 80% of the people with no due process. Clinton did. Like, it's just so hypocritical to get upset about it now. It's like the kids in cages stuff where they're, AOC's at the border. Oh, the kids in the cages weeping. It's like Obama built those cages. You can't choose to be moral about it now. And that is consistently what these assholes do.
Yeah, but okay, so due process, I am in favor of due process. This person came here illegally, so they broke a law coming here. They were picked up. We're not prosecuted for it, but they were picked up with a car full of illegal immigrants coming back from Texas, using the vehicle of someone who was arrested for human trafficking. That's the name that he gave, and that's who the vehicle was registered for. And has a restraining order against him from his wife for abuse. So, like, what else do you need? Like, the guy's already here illegally. What else do you need? I mean,
that's a good point. It's like if you know they're here illegally, what due process is there that you need to do, right? I mean, that's It seems pretty cut and dry. You're here illegally. You're not a citizen. You don't have immigration papers. You don't have a green card. Yeah, cut and dry, man. So I don't know.
Well, I guess he was. It's kind of shady, like when you start to look into this guy, and I don't have it in front of me, but there was something where he was going to be deported, but he couldn't be deported to El Salvador because there was something with a rival gang, which makes you think like, what's going on there? Like he's got some sort of confrontation with a rival gang. So that's why he wasn't deported to El Salvador initially, but then Trump overrode that and deported him anyway. So it's a confusing thing, and it's crazy that the Democrats are hitching their their bandwagon to this guy. You think they could find someone else with a little bit of a cleaner history, but probably they couldn't, because they probably looked at everybody Trump deported to that El Salvadorian prison, and this was the best one. This was like the one with the best chance of hitching their wagon to.
Yeah, well, and also like refugee status, right? It's so abused. It's so ridiculous. If your status as a refugee is that you are in a gang and you're afraid of being killed by a rival gang, that's our standard we're using for refugee status. Like, are we just going to import half the gangs in Mexico and El Salvador? Like, okay, we're going to pick the Jets and, was it the Jets or the whatevers from West Side
When
Story?
you're a jet, you're a jet
all the way. Yeah. Got a rocket in your pocket.
We're also coming out with a musical.
The Sharks, the Jets. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be 2026. 2026.
Been in the works for a while. By the way, I apologize to all of you that have been itching for a new Do Nothing Man. I'm working on it tomorrow. New Do Nothing Man, my libertarian superhero. I know it's been like a year. It's been over a year. The last thing we did was the live read at PorkFest.
Is that really the last one?
I think so. Like, look, it's hard to do this stuff with little kids. These Do Nothing Mans take a long time to write, to record, to edit, to add the music and the sound effects. They're a bear to do. It takes me a long time.
You got to get your kids to do voices and Do Nothing Man.
Oh God, no. I don't want to see them any more than I have to, especially after a week with them trapped in Hawaii. Yeah. So anyway.
Well, before I go on to my first meme, or if you want to share your first meme, I want to show a picture of this judge. Have you seen a picture of the judge?
No.
Prepare yourself, because this woman should be locked up just on this alone.
Is it Lori Lightfoot? Does she have no teeth?
It maybe. It's hard to say. Took her dentures out. Not sure. Yeah, it looks kind of like, remember back when Janet Reno was the attorney general? She was attorney general, right? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And they did the SNL skits of Janet Reno. Kind of looks like the SNL version of Will Ferrell playing Janet Reno.
Yeah, those were. God, remember when SNL was funny? Those are funny. Didn't she like bust through walls?
Yeah,
yeah, she was awesome.
Will Ferrell was good on SNL back in the day.
He used to be funny. Now he looks freakish. He's had so much bad surgery, and he's such a left-wing goofball. Upsetting. So is Pedro Pascal. I hate Pedro Pascal. He's ruined for me. He's like Mark Ruffalo Jr. now with all his fucking lefty social bullshit, and he's in everything, which makes it even more annoying to see him all the time in every movie and every TV show made. And he's out there, going after J.K. Rowling, who was celebrating because the UK court was like, nope, biological women is what a woman is, which I agree with. You can be trans. I don't give a shit. Go be trans. I don't care. Your rights do not supersede other people's rights. And he's now attacking her because she was happy about the ruling as a woman. It's a douche.
As a woman. Well, the first meme I have for today has nothing to do with politics. I just found it hilarious. And I've been saying this for decades, that when you see a guy with a beard, there's a reason they have a beard. And this is a meme of a guy with a full, nice, luscious beard, and the picture next to him just has zero jawline definition. And I don't know. I don't know if this is AI or if this was touched up. This might be real. This could be 100% real. It's hard to say.
He looks like Earthworm Jim. Remember that video game? He's got the Earthworm Jim vibe. Yeah, it's disgusting. Man. Well, some of us, Odie, have no hair on the top of her head. This guy in the picture doesn't either. You grow the beard because you can't do anything else. So, like the only way to change your look, other than getting like cholo eyebrows or like tattooed hairline on you, is to grow the beard out. In beardo defense, although I just shaved. Look how handsome I look in this light. This is good
but
light.
you don't grow like a full like beard though when you grow a beard.
A big old bushy beard. Nah, I did once. I grew up a decently large beard, not a libertarian beard, not like a beard that stinks when you.
I
get
guess
close
that's
to
the
it.
term I was looking for. You
Yeah,
kept
like-
showering when you grew a beard. Like,
I know. Half our audience grows a giant beard, and then they're like, "This, I'm just gonna, the beard will stop the smell. It'll soak it up. Doesn't. Stop doing it.
that's a
Stop.
myth. It's a myth. It doesn't happen.
A popular libertarian myth. All right. Hopefully my screen isn't shit because my computer's been awful. But I also have a meme to share that is not related to politics. This is the new Predator, Odie. Have you seen this thing?
What?
Awful. Awful. I mean, what is going on where CGI and special effects somehow they were so good for so long and it looks terrible. Like the original Predator was so awesome looking.
Just looks like a person wearing a mask. Like,
yeah, literally, like they bought a mask off of Temu and chucked it on. It's awful looking. It's like, pulled back dreads, which is fine, stylistic choice, but the face looks stupid. It looks cheap.
mm-hmm.
Awful. And
so when is this coming out? I didn't know they were doing a remake of Predator.
I think July, but it's by the guy who did Prey, which was like, I think an Amazon original Predator movie, which sucked, by the way. It was idiotic. It was like the epitome of like left-wing filmmaking. It was like, okay, girl boss protagonist who's a 16-year-old Native American, because you got to talk about them people, Native American, and she somehow beats up a freaking space predator using bows and arrows because it takes place in, the settlement times back in the old West where the Indians and the Whiteys were fighting. It was so stupid. And this jerk off now made this movie with this terrible predator. But the meme and the quote from this guy at McGill's, or maybe it's a chick, the new Predator looks like it has a 430 credit score. Hilarious.
My next meme, I guess it's political. It's hilarious. I don't know. Doesn't really have a political element to it, which doesn't matter. But of course, chicks in space. It was really like a glorified, amusement park ride. They went up, they came down, and that was it. They wore some, nice fancy blue spandex suits. But this has a picture of six of them. There's six of them. Yeah, six of them went out. And it says there's enough plastic in this photo to kill several families of turtles. And a lot of people speculated that maybe they actually sent them up there to research, what happens with plastic surgery and
the effects.
Olympic and like in space when you get up there, do you live? And I guess they did. So,
well, good. There was I had tweeted out Space Menstruation, the musical. That's what I would have titled the space flight. And I also have one to share on the same note because, like Gayle King gave the worst interview after the fact because people were making fun of this because it was idiotic. It was so stupid. You're not astronauts. You didn't go up there. Gayle King compared herself to not Armstrong.
Rosa Parks, was it? No.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. She, like whoever the first astronaut that went up, not to the moon, but up in it. And I can't remember his name.
Wasn't Buzz Aldrin, was it?
No, it wasn't Aldrin. It was some other guy who just did the first space flight. And she's like, nobody was saying that he went on an amusement ride. It's like, he was the first man in space ever. Like, what are you talking about?
Well, this is the first woman in space. Oh, never mind.
Like, first woman in space is in pieces. Yeah, it's like, it's just so fake. And then I like this meme based off of it. This is from the Geniuses Times, which I'd never heard of before I saw it, but pretty funny. Breaking. Katy Perry declares herself Pope after reading the Bible for 11 minutes. Because all these chicks are calling themselves astronauts. Like, how much training did you do? I've seen The Right Stuff. I know what goes into it. Great movie.
Yeah, maybe it was the same interview that you were talking about. I don't know if it was with Gail King or not, but whoever it was like, well, I don't like calling myself an astronaut, but that's what I am, is an astronaut now. I'm like, what are you talking about? No, you're not an astronaut.
No.
Like,
And anybody that says they don't like calling themselves some fancy title loves it. Like Dr. Jill Biden.
yeah, I
Or
don't
well,
like calling
to
myself
call
a doctor, but I went to school for 7 years, so you better call me a doctor.
Yeah, you better put in all the emails. It's in my things. One more thing, as we're on the Pope, let me share this next meme. Oh, you have one keyed up. Go for it.
Yeah, this is from good Kentucky libertarian TJ Roberts, friend of the show. This meme has a, I guess, artificially dyed red hair. It looks like it. Doesn't look natural.
Looks like it.
The thick black liberal glasses, and top of the meme says, "If you outlaw abortions, abortions will just happen illegally." And then the confused look on the bottom. But if you outlaw guns, will all be safe from gun crime? Not how it works.
Nope. Never will be. All right. Let me share this meme, which this was so spot on. Babylon B, sometimes really nails it. And take that off, Odie. So I may share mine.
You could have done that too, I think.
I technically could have. This would crack me up. CNN, obviously the Pope just died. Pope Francis, left-wing Marxist Pope. So obviously Joe Biden, a lot of issues with his health. We all remember what CNN and everybody said, that he was sharp as a tack. So the Babylon Bee says, CNN, behind closed doors, Pope is still focused, sharp, and energetic. I almost grabbed a bunch of the JD Vance memes. Did you see those? Because he was the last one to see the Pope alive, which is weird, by the way. That JD Vance met with the Pope and the Pope died. But there's all this memes about him meeting with various people, like the Easter Bunny at the White House, and the Easter Bunny is terrified now he's gonna die right after meeting him.
There's this whole conspiracy around it. It's pretty funny. Apparently Trump, I think it's a real tweet that he sent out on Truth Social, and if you read it, the letters up and down, it says not right next to each other, but spaced out.
Oh, if you just pick out random letters from
JD kill the Pope, but still, it's there.
It's like I buried Paul in I Am the Walrus from the Beatles.
Because if Trump was going to tell JD Vance to kill the Pope, he would do it on Truth Social.
Obviously,
yeah, open air. This next one is just hilarious, and I don't know why, but Facebook, for whatever reason, has the most ridiculous fake news about any sports. I don't know if you've seen this with the Eagles or any teams you follow. With Penn State, it's just absurd. With all the James Franklin stuff, and it just pops up in your feed. I don't follow these pages; it's just there. And this has a obviously AI generated photo. No, this one's not AI generated. I think it's real photos. There's more ridiculous ones with AI generation with Musk and Franklin, but this one, Elon Musk's father announces, "My son Elon loves Penn State football. His grandmother's from there. We have family there, and he wants to invest in Penn State." These clickbait headlines, who is clicking on this?
Is it
who is
is it his mother in South Africa?
I don't know. None of it makes any sense. I just want to know, for someone to put the time in to make this, and I know it takes no time to make a post and put it up, but why are people doing this?
It worked on you, bozo. Worked on you.
I didn't click on it. Just shared it here.
I am going to masturbate myself here and share my own post, because I don't know if you saw, Odie, the UK, and I think this is one of the worst ideas in history, but the UK is taking part in these experiments where they're going to start seeding the sky to try to help global climate change, global warming, and try to reflect more sunlight back. And to me, this seems like how humanity kills itself, right? Because nuclear winter, that's what happens. Yep, that's the fear. Nuclear winter happens because all the sediments up in the sky, and we all freeze to death. These idiots are proactively trying to screw with the weather. They're trying to do weather control, which is a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, that's a conspiracy, Brian. The government doesn't control the weather. hurricanes, tornadoes, anything like that. They only control the weather to stop climate change.
Yeah, it's for a good cause. That and taking out Trump voters with hurricanes. So I posted, laughing at my own thing. This is how hungover I am. The UK. That's it. You posted one meme too many. We're taking away the sun. So there you go.
Well, to be fair, the UK doesn't have the sun, so it's not ever.
No,
shiny
that's true.
there.
They barely get to see it, which also begs the question: what the hell do you need to see the atmosphere? You never see the sun anyway. You pale, limey fucks. What are you seeding shit for?
They get the sun 10 days a year. It's too much. It's too much. Make it stop.
My son burst into flame. He did. You got anything else for us?
That's all I got.
Yeah, that was 2 weeks of memes. 3.
No, there's. Did I miss one?
Odie, I've been collecting memes for months. 3.
I have more. They're on my phone. I don't have them ported over. But right before this, I was doing my interview with Magath Wade, which is awesome. Awesome interview. I planned on going for 35 minutes, having 15 minutes to find more memes and get organized, then do this show. But instead, we went for an hour and 15 minutes.
Dang.
And, here we are.
So. That's awesome. Well, next week's going to be a banger, man. So you've got that interview. I've got Martin Armstrong coming on. And if you guys don't know who Martin Armstrong is, this guy is incredible. Fascinating backstory. I'm not going to get into his backstory on the show, but I'll tell you guys, it's like he had this economic forecasting model. He got basically railroaded by the government and imprisoned, where they said he had committed fraud, which is nonsense. And then comes out, he's, basically like F you to the government, which is great. Gets out of prison, but he still has this model Socrates. And it is dead on accurate, predicting your economic cycles, right? It goes in cycles, like every 8 years. Whatever you do, you Keynesian idiots, you can't mess with it. The business cycle exists. He has forecasted so many events, not only economic, but war and all these ups and downs. Fascinating guy. He is coming on the show. And honestly, impressed that I could get him. He's coming on the show. We're going to talk about tariffs. He's going to talk about his take on why the gold standard should not be the backing for the US dollar, which he's had private conversations with Ron Paul about. It's going to be awesome. Huge get. And then Lou Perez is, of course, going to have his show debuting on our network as well. Big week.
Is that next week? Lou's going to debut?
Yeah, right?
Okay.
Oh, wait, maybe 2 weeks.
I think it's the following week, because next week is still April. We said May.
Is it? Until Wednesday.
Yeah. Anyway,
more
to come on that. I'll tell you what you should do. What you should do is subscribe to the feed if you haven't, and tell your friends to, and then tell them to tell their friends, and then tell them to tell their friends,
and raise your children on it.
That's how you
instead of feeding them. Podcasts only for dinner. That's how we build our network. All right. Any final thoughts here? Look at me, my Fiddler on the Roof shirt I have from high school.
It doesn't surprise me.
You're welcome, Sarah. Thanks for watching.
Final thoughts. What did she say? What'd Sarah say? Thanks for entertaining me. Well, we'll show that on the screen because we like comments on YouTube and Rumble. You can leave comments and we'll show your name to the world. Thank you.
I'm waiting for her to post an OnlyFans link immediately after.
If this was Twitter.
That's what usually happens. Yeah. Or people go, I love your content. Let me help boost your views. Here, click this link.
Yeah, Sarah says never. Dragging her name through the mud like that. That's terrible, Brian. Terrible. Awful. But yeah, speaking of that, there was that chick who reached out to us, both of us, I think, for an interview.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say her name. And she's running for some political office, which I think is just a psyop for OnlyFans. But yeah, of course, I did like 2 minutes of research. Yep, there's her OnlyFans. Okay, you're not coming on the show. Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally fishing. Remember when we used to have the Boring podcast? One of our most downloaded episodes ever was when that some chick in Texas was running for land commissioner, and she had that photo of her on an oil derrick.
Yeah,
is that it? Yeah, and she's like in a little work outfit with her boobs and all oiled up. I don't know if she won or not, but it certainly got a lot of attention. We covered it.
And the show has been skyrocketing since then, right? Yep.
Well, once we lost Howie, it's all downhill. You guys, listen to the first episode podcast. That's the show you need to listen to. Really, the one we used to do that was the most popular, it would have been huge, Odie, if we could have tolerated it. It was still Bravo and Beer. The show where we watch Bravo television shows of chicks, the chick shows on Bravo and, Real Housewives and all that crap. That would have been huge. It was growing in popularity. And then we said we can't take watching these terrible shows anymore. We ended it. But it was a genius idea, man.
Well, we got a better genius idea now. We're taking over the Liberty world with new lines of Liberty coming on.
So, coming for you, Dave Smith. Happy birthday. Texted that dickhead. He's the worst guy getting back to people. He's the worst. The worst. Dave
he might just scroll past your happy birthday wish and go to Joe Rogan's and talk to him.
Yeah. Damn it. You're probably right. Anyway, all right. That's it. Let's get out of here, Odie. End it. I gotta take a nap.
See ya.